Minash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Lamajmoon ila miqati yawmin ma'lum. Summa innakum ayyuhaz-zalluna al-mukazzibun. La'akiluna min shajarin min zakum. Famali'una minha al-batun. Fasharibuna alayhi min al-hamim. Fasharibuna shurba-al-him. Hadha nuzuluhum yawma-ddin. Nahnu khalaqnakum falawla تصدقون أفرأيتم ما تمنون أنتم تخلقونه أم نحن الخالقون صدق الله العلي العظيم. Ninth class, lecture number 35. Of course, with useful information in this lecture, I promise to teach you a ribosomal RNA. Of course, the suspense will be out here in this. What is ribosomal RNA? Because messenger RNA was doing much significant process, because messenger RNA was transferring the message from the DNA, and that process was called as a transcription. We go back to the ribosomal RNA. This, you can see the ribosomal RNA. It is represented by small r, capital N, capital A, ribosomal RNA. Two type of ribosomal RNA. Question: where that is formed? Inside nucleolus. I told you that this is a nucleus, this is a nucleus. Nucleus consists of a structure. The liquid of the nucleus, cytoplasm. Two structures present inside the nucleus. One is a nucleolus, one is a one is a chromosome. And chromosome consists of two material. One was the DNA, one was the protein, that is the histone, and DNA was hereditary material. We'll go back to this important information which I just wanted to share. That information is much important because you know nucleolus was going to produce the three type of RNA. One was ribosomal RNA, one was the transfer RNA, one was the messenger RNA. But messenger RNA, I told you that it will be formed inside nucleolus, and messenger RNA will also be formed inside nucleolus, and the transfer RNA also will be formed inside the nucleolus. Ribosomal RNA will also be formed by the nucleolus, but ribosomal RNA, this ribosomal RNA will come out important. Messenger RNA, what the messenger RNA did inside the nucleus? Messenger RNA, after formation, it goes to chromosomes. Chromosomes mean DNA. They are D chromosome composed of the DNA. Messenger RNA gets the message, copy the message from the DNA. The message was being copied from the DNA to the messenger RNA in the process transcription. And when the message was being copied from the DNA to the messenger RNA, then what was the next step? The messenger RNA which was getting the message from the messenger RNA which was getting the message from the DNA in the process transcription, what will happen? This message was gone outside by the tubes, endoplasmic reticulum, and the messenger RNA was gone to ribosomes, and ribosomes formed protein which you will discuss in this topic. Okay, now my point is that the nucleolus formed another significant RNA. What was that RNA? Ribosomal RNA. Ribosomal RNA. What is the function of the ribosomal RNA? Of course, very important. This ribosomal RNA will come out also by those tubes which are attached inside the nucleus. This ribosomal RNA will also come out through the same tubes, by the tubes the messenger RNA was coming out. And messenger RNA, dear students, that was coming out through the tubes called as endoplasmic reticulum. Name the tubes which are surrounding the nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum. What is the function of endoplasmic reticulum? They are transporting the particles from the nucleus to the cytoplasm. Name two types of the particles which are being transported from the nucleus to the cytoplasm. One is the messenger RNA, which I just told you, after getting the message from the DNA going to cytoplasm. This is the cytoplasm, because the area surrounding the nucleus is the cytoplasm. And then what will happen? The RNA, the ribosomal RNA, which will be formed by the nucleolus, it will also come out, but it will not get the message from the DNA. The messaging from the DNA will be taken only by messenger RNA. It will not get the message from the DNA. That is the point. It will not get the message from the DNA. The messaging from the DNA will be based upon messenger RNA, ribosomal RNA will go out to the cytoplasm. Now, a very significant point, much important point I am going to tell you now. two type of ribosomes present in the. I am not talking about the ribosomal RNA. I am talking about the ribosomes. Two type of ribosomes present. Two type of the ribosomes present inside the cytoplasm. These two type of the ribosomes which are present in the cytoplasm. One is large and one is the small. One is the large, one is the small. The large size ribosome is called larger ribosomal unit, and small size ribosome is called smaller ribosomal unit. So sir, what is the structure of ribosome? Because you are talking about the two units, so which unit is actually ribosome? These both are collectively ribosomes. One is a large ribosomal unit, one is the small ribosomal unit. Large ribosomal unit, the small ribosomal units collectively will be called as ribosomes. So why they are separate, sir? Yes, of course they are separate for some time in the cytoplasm. They are separate. One is a large ribosomal unit, one is the small ribosomal unit, one is a small ribosomal unit. This is large ribosomal unit, this is the small ribosomal unit. Both are separate. There is no combination between these two ribosomal units. When they will combine when they need to form the protein. During the protein formation, they will attach with each other. During the attachment, when they would like to attach with each other, what will happen? Their attachment will take place. That is the time of arrival of the hero. Who is the hero in this whole process? Do you remember? Who is the hero in this whole process? Messenger RNA. Yes, of course, the messenger RNA. So I am going to tell you the messenger RNA, that messenger RNA which was coming out from the nucleus. After getting the message from the DNA, it will come out in the cytoplasm. So ribosomal RNA, yes, first one point, ribosomes. Once again, I will start from the same point because you may be confused. I am going to start from the same point. One is a large ribosomal unit, one is a small ribosomal unit. Large ribosomal unit, small ribosomal unit. The large ribosomal unit, the small ribosomal units, the both are not attached with each other. The point I was discussing, when they will attach. What is the significant barrier when these two ribosomes will attach with each other? They will attach when the messenger will come, a PN will come after getting the message from the DNA. So as the messenger RNA will come, they both will combine. How they will combine? Okay, this is the large ribosomal unit, this is the small ribosomal unit, and when they will combine, when the messenger RNA which is coming from the nucleus, after getting the message from the DNA is the boss. DNA gives the message to the PN. Who is the PN in this case? Messenger RNA. Don't write the PN word in the answer because reason I just giving you example. Messenger RNA you will write. So messenger RNA will get the message. From the DNA. So messenger RNA will move, these both units will combine. Mean large ribosomal unit, small ribosomal unit. Sir, you tell what is rRNA? What is rRNA? Ribosomal RNA. So sir, what is the difference between ribosomal RNA and the ribosomal units? What is the difference between ribosomal RNA and the ribosomal units? Yes, this is a very good question. Large ribosomal unit, small ribosomal unit, they both are composed of ribosomal RNA. Now you are getting the true idea that how these RNA help in making the structures. So who are making the structures of the ribosomal units? RNA. Once again I will tell you, what is the composition of the ribosomes? Ribosomes are composed of these large ribosomal unit, small ribosomal unit. They are composed of ribosomal RNA. Now you are getting the true concept. So where ribosomal RNA will be formed? Nucleolus. After the formation from the nucleolus, where the ribosomal RNA will go? Ribosomal RNA will go to the cytoplasm. in the cytoplasm, what the ribosomal RNA will do? Ribosomal RNA will combine with the protein to form the ribosomal unit, large ribosomal unit, the small ribosomal unit. These two ribosomal units will be separated or will be attached? No, they will be separated. So when they will be attached, yes, of course they will attach. Of course they will attach. When one thing comes from the nucleus, which thing will come from the nucleus? When the messenger RNA will come. The messenger RNA will come from the nucleus. It will give the message of the DNA to the ribosomes, and the ribosomal unit, large ribosomal unit, small ribosomal unit, which is composed of the ribosomal RNA and the protein. After getting the message from the messenger RNA, they got the idea. Now we have to work. What is the work of the ribosome? What is the work of the ribosome? I told you, protein formation. Yes, protein formation is called as protein synthesis. The protein synthesis. So these ribosome, large ribosomal unit, the small ribosomal unit, they collectively will form the protein. I did not tell you the function of the transfer RNA. Transfer RNA is also involved in this function, but I am not telling now. Messenger RNA will come, and messenger RNA which will come here, the messenger RNA will give the message to the large ribosomal unit, the small ribosomal unit, and what will happen later on? That ribosomes will be able to form the protein, and how the protein will be formed when these both units will combine. Large ribosomal unit, small ribosomal units, they will combine. When they will get the message from the messenger RNA. Messenger RNA will get the message from the DNA. This is a cyclic activity, very interesting activity. Messenger RNA getting the message from the DNA from the nucleus. Messenger RNA, after getting the message from the DNA, is going to the cytoplasm. After giving the message from the cytoplasm, they are moving towards the ribosomes, and ribosomes mean large ribosomal unit and small ribosomal unit. They were not attached. When they will attach, they will form the large. When they will attach large ribosomal unit, small ribosomal unit, they both will attach. When they will attach, when messenger RNA will come after getting the message from the DNA, according to message of RNA, they both will combine to form the protein synthesis. I will continue this information in the next session, and this was the L number 35.